And the camera on the iPhone 13 mini compared to the Sony ZV-1 or DSLR cameras, well, it definitely does great in a pinch, and if all you have is the iPhone 13, it is 100% passable and just, it does a great job. But the depth that it can create in pictures and videos just doesn't quite line up with how good a natural, larger sensor can get. Like the Sony ZV-1, it has a larger sensor for its camera, and DSLRs have a larger sensor than what the iPhone can produce because it's in a smaller package and it's not meant to be just a camera. This is meant to be a phone, which can also browse the internet and send text messages and call people and have all of that fancy stuff, whereas a dedicated camera is a one-stop shop for photos and videos. This doesn't quite match up, and I think one day it will get there. It's just currently the ability that the iPhone has to create that depth, the bokeh effect, is not quite as good as the natural capabilities of a regular camera. So with that, let me show you some pictures to demonstrate what I'm talking about and how the natural bokeh versus the artificial bokeh that the iPhone creates. I do believe that it has an ability to create natural bokeh, but puts in a lot of artificial depth as well to help compensate and make it appear more high-end than what it truly is. I don't want you thinking that I think this is a terrible camera. It is incredible. This is a phone. This is a tiny little phone, and it's great. I just wanted to do this comparison because I have the Sony ZV-1 and I use it frequently for my videos, and I just figured I would talk about the two and show the differences in quality so that you can also know about them as well. Now, as you can tell in this first picture, at first glance, you're not going to notice much of a difference. But if we zoom in to the corners of the box of the PlayStation 5 controller, you can tell that there's a little bit of warping of the box and changing on the corners and edges, and it's just not entirely smooth as the box naturally is. The Sony ZV-1 doesn't have all of the imperfections that you can clearly see from the iPhone 13 mini. Naturally produce that blurry effect compared to an artificial blurriness. So that's a product. However, it is an easy product, I'd say, because it's a box, but there's different colors on the sides of the box, and so it can possibly get a little bit confused as what it is trying to bring forward out of the background. So that, I'll give it a pass on that. However, it touts its ability to be able to take incredible photos for people, portraits. So I'm going to take a picture of myself with the Sony ZV-1 as well as the iPhone 13 mini to be able to see how the edges look and if the iPhone 13 is able to produce a very nice quality photo compared to the Sony ZV-1. There's no doubt that the iPhone 13, these photos are incredible. And this is pixel peeping. You're zooming in, you're looking in higher detail of what it actually is able to do. And normally, if you're just scrolling around on Instagram or whatnot and throw up some pictures there, you're not going to be looking at pictures like this. It's just, people don't do it. Now, one cool thing that the Sony ZV-1 can't do, and other DSLRs, lots of them can't do, I don't believe there's any that do this, but the iPhone 13 is able to, after the fact, after you've taken the picture, you can change the amount of bokeh that it produced on the picture after the fact. You don't have to go and retake the picture and change the settings in the camera. I actually wanted that to look more like an f2.2 instead of an f10.0, and you can just change it and adjust it on the slider, and there you go. There you have it. It's changed, and you don't have to go and take another picture, which is really cool. I think that's awesome, and I love that ability, and I think they are going in an incredible direction, iPhone and Apple being able to do that with their phones, but I don't think it's quite there yet in being able to look like a regular camera, like the Sony ZV-1. I'm not going to be taking the Sony ZV-1 out and about because it is bulkier and it's not something I normally would have on me. However, the iPhone 13, I am going to have on me because it's my go-to phone to talk to people and do all the different things you do with a phone. So those are some things to keep in mind, and I'll see you in the next video.